episode number 5. You are listening to the More Than a Lawyer podcast with your host, Janine Esbrand. I'm here to help lawyers and mums to thrive in their careers and motherhood. I share tips, strategies, and inspirational conversation with awesome women to help you reduce the struggle in your juggle. Hello and welcome to the show. I am so happy to be here today and to be talking to you about the most important ingredient for career success. It is September. This is the time of year that has that back to school feel to it. Even if you're no longer in school and you haven't been in school for years, it still has that feel to it. You just remember those days where the autumn's coming and you are getting ready to get back into work mode after having a long summer off. Now, as adults, we don't have that long summer off, but for me, I still always feel like this is a good time of year to assess, reassess, and reset. So I thought it'd be good to talk about career goals and career success today. So I acknowledge, and I've experienced, and I'm sure some of you have experienced, that everything seems to change when you become a mum. Your worldview completely shifts, and one of the areas that you really start to think about is your career. Like, how am I going to manage this career now that I'm a mum, or how am I going to continue on this journey or this track now that I'm a mum? How is everything going to fit together? Those are questions that arise, and so today I want to share with you the most important thing that you need to do to achieve career success, because I know that we are all ambitious ladies, and once becoming a mum, you want to continue to practice law or whichever profession you're in while being a mother, but it's hard to figure out how you're going to do that. So I want to talk to you about the most important thing that you need to do, and that is to get really clear on your definition of career success. Now, this may sound simple, but for many people, this is a step that they skip because they're used to going along the conventional route in their career. So they go to law school, then they qualify, and they work really hard as a junior, and then they take some time out, go on maternity leave, and then go back to their career and then continue on the path as well as is possible given their new lifestyle. But getting super clear on your definition of career success, not the definition of other people, not the definition that you think you should have, but your definition of career success is really, really important. As lawyers, we all know how important definitions are. When you look at any agreement with defined terms, you know that you need to check those to make sure that you're absolutely clear on the meaning of the terms in the agreement and the intention of the parties. So when it comes to your career, you really need to think of definitions as being just as important. You need to define what your version of career success is. In his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey explained how important it is to start with the end in mind. In order to get to where you want to be, you really need to decide on your destination. So if you think of it in terms of going on a journey, you decide you want to go somewhere. One of the first things that you're going to do is you're going to ask for the postcode, or you're going to seek out the postcode or the zip code, and then you're going to enter it into your sat nav, because not many of us use maps anymore. You're going to enter it into your sat nav, and the sat nav will then define the route for you. It will figure out the best route. There's the scenic route, there's the direct route, there's the route to avoid tolls and traffic, but there are a number of different routes that you can take to get to your destination. So if you don't have that postcode, if you don't have the destination, you can't really set out on your journey in a way that fills you with confidence. You can start your journey, but you know that part way along, you're going to have to stop and you're going to have to seek out the directions for the rest of the journey. So you can think of your career in a similar way. If you want to get to a certain point and you want to have a certain lifestyle, you need to figure out where you're going. You need to define where you're going. You need to decide where that is. But the important thing to do, which we all need to make sure we do, is to not think about your career as the only thing, not to think of your career in a vacuum. When you're thinking about your destination, I want you to really, really paint a picture. And in that picture, you want to include what your role looks like at work, what you'll be doing on a day-to-day basis, what will your home life look like, how will you feel, how will you be acting, who will be around you in your life. Go as deep with this as you need to in terms of really mapping out, okay, where would I be if I said in 6 months time, in 12 months time, in 2 years time, if I had career success, this is what it would look like. This will give you a really full picture of your definition of success. It gives you a 360-degree view of what life will look like. And that way, as you edge closer and closer towards your goal, you're going to know that you're getting there and you're going to feel more fulfilled as a result. So you're not just thinking, oh, I really should be aiming to be a senior associate by this time, but you are thinking about all of the different elements of your life, because it's not about work-life balance, it's really about work-life integration. Like, you only have one life, and I've mentioned this on a previous episode, that you only have one life, and so you need to figure out how everything is going to fit together so that you feel that you've achieved an element of success. In a previous episode with Marissa, if you haven't listened to that episode, I'd urge you to go back to episode number 3, where we talked about finding time to do more of what you love. In that episode, she mentioned something that is so powerful, and I will take it with me and I will always remember this, and I share it with clients, that if you are a lawyer, or if you're a career woman or a businesswoman, and you're also a mother, you need to give yourself a little bit more time in achieving some of the career goals that you would like to achieve before you became a mother, because you've added an extra element to your life, an extra side of your life that is going to fulfill you in different ways, but it's also going to mean that you may not reach your ultimate career goal as quickly, but that's okay, because you have this other element of your life that brings a richness that your career doesn't. And so don't be so hard on yourself when you look around and you see colleagues that are seemingly moving ahead of you. You may have qualified at the same time and now they're a senior associate, or now they're on the track to partnership, but you're not. If they are not wearing the mummy hat as you are, then you can expect that they will be a lot further along, because they're able to invest all of their time and energy in their career and moving that forward without having the other elements of life that you're managing at the same time. It really isn't helpful to play the comparison game, but if you find yourself playing, make sure you're comparing apples with apples and not apples with pears, in terms of looking at your colleagues and what they're able to achieve in the same time frame. So the other thing that having a really clear definition of success can help you with is filtering opportunities. So it can be really easy when you are looking at new opportunities once you go back to work after maternity leave, or once you've been in the role for a while and you're looking for a shift, to look at an opportunity and just jump at it. Someone will call you up, a recruiter will get in touch, and they'll share with you information about a role, and you say, yes, I'll go for that interview, or yes, I will just see where that goes. Well, sometimes you can just be wasting your time and wasting your energy just pursuing an opportunity that doesn't fit with what it is you want for your lifestyle and your family life and your work life. So having that clear 360-degree view of what you want life to look like can allow you to just say no when a role comes up that really isn't going to fit. So, if you are in a place where you've decided you want to make sure that you're leaving the office on time and that you are home most evenings to put your kids to bed or to do bedtime routine or to spend time with them, and an opportunity comes up that involves possible travel internationally on a regular basis, then you will be able to say no straight away, that that role isn't really going to fit with what your definition of success is. So instead of going through the motions and going for the interview and then having to think, oh, should I take it, should I not, you're able to just assess it from the get-go and say, well, given what the plan is for the time being and what I'm hoping to achieve in my life, this role isn't for me. And so you can use the really clear plan that you have as a filter that's going to save you time, energy, and just a lot of headache when you're trying to figure things out. Many people experience career dissatisfaction because they look at their career in one dimension. They think about what they should be doing according to the status quo, and they think about the track they should be following, but they are on a journey that is not truly aligned with their values. So where there's a mismatch, there is dissatisfaction and being miserable, and I just don't want that for you. So I want you to realize that it's okay to take detours, it's okay to change lanes in your career, and it's important to keep checking in with yourself regularly. Perhaps once a year you might want to make sure that the picture of success that you've painted still holds true for you, because as time moves on, you change, your environment change, your circumstances change, and you may want to change your picture that you've painted or your version of success that you've determined. So it's fluid. Don't think you do it once and then you don't need to come back to it and revisit it. And I want you to think about interviews that you've had and in the past, and you've probably been asked regularly where you see yourself in the next 3 or 5 or 10 years by an interviewer. And the reason why they ask that question is because it gives them a good indication of the type of employee that you will be during the time frame, during the 3 or the 5 or the 10 years, as you work towards your long-term goals. So if you go in and you say, I want to be partner in the next 5 years, then they know you're going to hit the ground running, you're going to put in the time, and you're going to be on the grind, and you're going to do everything that they expect of you, so that you can make partner. But if you say in 5 years time you hope to be a stay-at-home mum, then they know that the way that you're going to approach your work in the time frame is going to be different. So that is just a demonstration of how important it is to know where you're heading, because then it's going to determine what you need to do now. So what steps you need to be taking in your career, what small things you can be doing now that are going to add up to your longer term goals. So I hope that was useful for you. I hope that's helped you to just really think about taking a step back, giving yourself some time and space to really plan out and set out where you're heading. Give yourself that destination. I encourage you to define your version of career success so that you can start working on a plan that works for you and is not defined by other people and their journeys. Look, I know that this stuff can be hard and I know it can be overwhelming, and what often happens is you think about it and you say, okay, I really need to figure this out, and then it just seems a bit hard and a bit much, and so you park it. And especially if you're on maternity leave, you have these questions come up and you think, oh, do you know what, I can't even deal with this, I can't even think what else I would do, or what other role I would do, so I'm just going to park this for right now. I can't think about how my role could possibly change to accommodate motherhood, or what other role I could possibly do, or whether I still want to be in the law. All these questions come up and you end up parking it because it's so overwhelming, and then before you know it, time has just gone and you are facing hard decisions without really giving it some solid thought. So if you are in that scenario and you're struggling, I want to help you on your journey. I am offering my listeners a free 30-minute overwhelm audit, and that is going to be a 30-minute telephone conversation with me where I will help you to assess what is really holding you back from making a clear career plan and give you some actionable tips on how you can move forward towards your version of success. So if this is something that you'd be interested in, I would urge you to head over to www.lightboxcoaching.com/bookings, and you can access my online scheduler, my calendar, so that you can schedule a call with me and we can discuss, and I can help you really map out where it is you're heading in your career. So it has been awesome chatting with you again today. And if you have enjoyed this episode, please head over to iTunes and leave a review so that more awesome lawyer mums just like you can find the show and join the conversation. I hope that you have a really, really productive week, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next episode. So until then, take care of you and take care of your babies. Bye. The More Than a Lawyer podcast features music from Bensound.